It only ran for 12 episodes, but its chaos, characters and comedy made history. These are the real secrets hidden behind the walls of Fawlty Towers. Fact 1.
I must be punished then, mustn't I? You're a naughty boy!
John Cleese based Fawlty Towers on a real-life hotel in Torquay, Devon. During a Monty Python filming trip, the crew stayed at the Glen Eagles Hotel, where the manager was shockingly rude and erratic. Cleese described him as the most wonderfully rude man he had ever met. The manager questioned guests' luggage, insulted accents, and even threw a timetable at a guest for asking about the bus.
Well, if you don't like duck, you're rather stuck.
While most of the Python team fled the hotel, Cleese stayed, taking notes. That manager, Donald Sinclair, became the real-life template for Basil Fawlty. Cleese later said, "It was as if he was actively trying to drive people away." The staff, including Sinclair's own wife, apologized to guests on his behalf. Fawlty Towers was exaggerated, but rooted in real absurdity, and the original hotel owner never found it funny. Fact 2.
What you do now? I serve breakfast. Oh, well, that's you then.
When the BBC first saw the pilot episode of Fawlty Towers, they weren't impressed. Executives described it as a disaster, unfunny, and too farcical. One BBC head famously asked, "Why would we make a series about a rude hotel owner?" Despite that feedback, the show was allowed to continue, mainly because Cleese was already a big name from Monty Python. The second episode's success turned the tide, gaining critical acclaim.
Manager! Yes, testing.
But Fawlty Towers nearly ended before it began due to internal resistance. It's now considered one of Britain's greatest comedies, but its debut was met with disbelief. The BBC has since admitted they completely misjudged it. Sometimes genius is misunderstood in its first form, and Fawlty Towers is living proof of that. Fact 3. Fawlty Towers ran for just 2 series, each with 6 episodes, totaling only 12. Many fans think the show was cancelled early, but in reality, Cleese ended it on purpose. He believed the quality could not be maintained beyond a certain point. Rather than let the show decline, he chose to stop at its peak.
This Basil, this smack on head.
Cleese said that every joke had to earn its place and feared repetition would ruin the magic. The BBC wanted more episodes, but he refused. Prunella Scales, who played Cibil, also agreed the show worked best in small doses. Its brevity has only enhanced its legacy, making each episode iconic.
Andre, burst his zip this morning.
In British television, short and brilliant often beats long and diluted. Fawlty Towers became timeless by knowing when to stop. Fact 4.
Oh, German! I'm sorry, I thought there was something wrong with you. Oh!
The episode The Germans became one of the most talked about of the entire series. Its infamous line, "Don't mention the war," became a cultural catchphrase. However, in later years, the episode drew criticism for containing racial slurs and World War II references. In 2020, some platforms temporarily removed the episode or re-uploaded it with disclaimers. John Cleese defended the episode, saying it mocked Basil's ignorance, not Germans or minorities. The controversy sparked debate over context and censorship in comedy. Despite the backlash, many fans and critics still consider it one of the sharpest episodes. It satirized post-war British attitudes, not Germany itself. The BBC quietly reinstated it after public pressure and clarification. Sometimes the most offensive lines are spoken by the most ignorant characters. Fact 5.
If you're going to grope a girl, have the gallantry to stay in the room with her while you're doing it.
The dynamic between Basil and Cibil Fawlty is comically cold and biting. They bicker constantly, with Cibil dominating and Basil simmering with resentment. But this tension wasn't accidental, it was written with intent. John Cleese and Connie Booth designed their marriage to reflect a relationship gone stale. Behind the scenes, Cleese and Prunella Scales actually got along very well, but on screen they portrayed a couple where communication had completely broken down. There are no romantic moments, no kisses, no hugs, no soft scenes. Their marriage exists as a slow-burning psychological war. It's uncomfortable, but deeply funny, and it's one reason their performances felt so authentic. Fact 6.
Under the table.
At the time of writing and filming the first series, John Cleese and Connie Booth were husband and wife. They co-wrote every episode, often spending months meticulously crafting the scripts. However, by the time the second series was produced in 1979, they were no longer married. Despite their personal split, they chose to continue working together professionally. The BBC kept their divorce quiet, worried it might affect how fans viewed the show. Their collaboration during the second series remained as sharp and focused as ever.
You told me to shut up!
No, he told me to shut up.
According to Cleese, writing with Booth was deeply structured and never emotional. Booth later left acting entirely and became a psychotherapist. Their off-screen separation never diminished the genius they created together. Few fans realized the show's funniest moments came from a broken marriage. Fact 7.
Manuel Towers, how are you? It's nice today.
Andrew Sachs, who played the lovable but confused waiter Manuel, wasn't a native Spanish speaker. He was actually born in Germany and moved to Britain as a child. To play Manuel, Sachs had to create a fictional Spanish accent layered over his real German accent. This meant he was essentially acting through two filters.
You are a hideous orangutan.
Despite his flawless timing, Sachs endured real challenges with the role. He suffered second-degree burns during the kitchen fire scene in the episode The Germans. The BBC barely compensated him. Just £700. Sachs took it in stride, but it revealed how demanding the show could be. Even the comic relief had to suffer for the laughs. His performance remains one of the show's most beloved, despite the hidden strain. Fact 8.
Oh, hello, Major. How are you today?
The opening credits always showed the hotel's sign, Fawlty Towers. But if you look closely, the letters are rearranged differently in almost every episode. Examples include flowery twats, watery fowls, and fatty owls. These visual gags were placed intentionally, offering hidden humour before the show even started. It became a kind of inside joke among the crew and attentive viewers. The BBC never explained the joke, and many casual fans never noticed. It was a way to foreshadow the absurdity and chaos inside the hotel. The sign was remade for each episode by the props department. This running gag quietly reinforced the show's anarchic tone.
Now, inside!
Even the welcome sign warned guests what they were in for. Fact 9. After the show's success, many real-life hotel owners were outraged. Some claimed it painted the industry as rude, incompetent, and dysfunctional. Letters were sent to the BBC complaining about the negative portrayal. Trade groups even considered boycotting the series, but it was too popular. John Cleese responded by saying, "If you run your hotel like Basil, you deserve it." Many hoteliers eventually embraced the show, even referencing it in their own advertising.
Since coming here from Spain, leaving my mother...
Outside, thank you.
Ironically, the original Gleneagles Hotel tried to distance itself from the series entirely. They reportedly received guests asking to see where the rudeness happened. What began as satire turned into a mirror for the service industry. Fawlty Towers exposed customer service extremes with surgical comedy. Fact 10. With just 12 episodes, Fawlty Towers became one of the most syndicated British comedies ever. It aired in over 60 countries and has been translated into dozens of languages. In the US, it found a cult following on PBS and late-night slots. Remakes were attempted in America, Australia, and Germany, but all failed. John Cleese refused to do a third series, fearing it would tarnish the show's legacy. In 2000, the British Film Institute ranked it number 1 in their list of greatest TV comedies.
He'll come back for the nuts, you know. He was sniffing around here just now. Sorry.
Its scripts are still studied in writing courses for timing and structure. Even today, clips are regularly shared online by a new generation. The chaos of Fawlty Towers never needed quantity. It had quality in every second. It proved that true comedy doesn't age, it just checks back in.